People, what's going on? What's going on? Let me situate myself. All right, we're good. We are good. Here we go. Let me put some of my
Mic check 1 2 1 2. What it do?
You are now tuned into the Painful Truth Podcast.
Now rocking with the best.
Where we teach you the painful truth on life choices and
financial
wealth while living.
We're trying to understand why is people chasing the wrong bag. Being successful takes time, takes sacrifice.
And now your host, Mr. Mentor Me.
Woo! Let's go!
Feels good. Feels good.
You're now tuned into Mentor Me.
You're now tuned in to Mentor Me.
We're talking about today, credit. A lot of us are still having problems understanding. But my goal today is to have you understand how it can make you 6 figures a year if you truly take time to understand the value of it. And I'm going to tell you ways that I'm doing that. Making credit make me a lot of money. You see, a lot of us, before we start today, financial literacy is not something that's really taught to a lot of individuals. Today, we're going to talk about credit. We're going to talk about how credit, how having good credit can make you 6 figures. Because I know a lot of people, we have credit, but we have bad credit. And a lot of us are misguided because our parents sometimes didn't have good credit. So we start to feel credit is not a good thing to have. I want you guys to know today, after I explain to you 3 reasons and 3 ways on how you can make 6 figures a year having good credit. A lot of you need to first and foremost understand credit is a tool that you should be able to leverage to make you money. Credit cards is a part of credit. Credit is also when you get a loan from a bank. That's credit also. But a lot of us, we have bad credit. And we live our whole lives with bad credit, not understanding the value of it and how it can make us money. So today, I believe it is very essential to have you guys understand how can it make you money, not just understanding that credit is a good thing as long as you have a good credit score. So today, we're going to talk about 3 ways on how credit can make you money. Number one way that credit can make you money is you can leverage it in real estate. Let me explain to you. Sometimes you may not have $30,000, $20,000, $40,000 to buy supplies to rehab a property. So in this example, we're talking you bought a property, however you bought it, through a tax deed auction, through a tax lien auction, which I'm going to talk a lot about and show you guys how to do that too at my Millionaire Mindset course that I created every last Sunday. So for a lot of you that haven't subscribed yet, shout out to all of you who subscribed yesterday to the Millionaire Mindset Coaching, where I'm mentoring you guys on how to get your life in order every last Sunday. It starts February 26th. Get on mentorme.com. Go subscribe. It's only $99 a month. Where 2 hours every single month, I'm teaching you something new on how to have you create generational wealth. Of course, we're going to first start off with budgeting, but we're eventually going to talk about this way more in depth. Today's topic is 3 ways on how credit can make you 6 figures a year. A lot of you don't realize that one of the ways that I use credit to make me money is I take credit cards that I have. I only have maybe 4, okay? And my credit cards, I always taught you guys in the past, if you watch my videos, you should be increasing your credit limits at least twice a year. You increase your credit limits by going online, or you can call the 1-800 number on the back of your card and simply, of course, ask for an increase. If your card got $10,000 on it, get it to $40,000, get it to $50,000, get it to $20,000. But you can only do that by requesting an increase. Why is it important that you have an increase? This is based on what I'm about to talk about today. So I have credit cards that have $50,000, $150,000 credit limits. I have credit cards that have $250,000 credit limits. Even if you had a card that had $40,000, it works the same. Here's the problem before I talk about number 1. A lot of you, first and foremost, have the wrong credit cards. You have Capital One, which is trash, okay? I do not recommend any Capital One products at all. Capital One is the worst when it comes to credit limits. They give you the lowest limits no matter how long you stay with them. But I do recommend Bank of America Visa cards. I do recommend Citibank Platinum cards. I do recommend a lot of Discover cards, because the goal of life is not just to have good credit, but to have credit cards that also give you great, healthy limits. And you're going to learn why, because in this video, we're talking about 3 ways that you can make 6 figures a year by just having good credit. Number 1, a lot of you don't understand. One of the things I do a lot, and I really believe it's very healthy, is I flip real estate. But when I started, I want you guys to understand, I didn't always have $30,000, $40,000 to rehab a house. Some of you don't realize buying the property is not the hard part, because you're putting money down. The bank's going to finance the rest, as long as you have, again, good credit. But once you buy the property, you need money to rehab it, to fix it up. But sometimes a lot of you don't realize you don't need to have your money. You can use other people's money, which is credit cards. But if you can only use other people's money if the credit card has a certain amount of limit on it. You can't have a credit card with $5,000 and thinking that's going to do something. It's better you have a credit card with $30,000, $40,000, $80,000, $100,000. Because why? Hypothetically, you bought a house. You had to put $10,000 down to buy the house. But the house needs, in material and supplies, $25,000. So let's get this right, people. You bought a house, you put $10,000 down. You need in supplies and material $20,000. You could simply swipe your credit card at Home Depot, buy all the material you need. Yes, they're going to send you a bill. The bill, hypothetically, let's say is $300 a month. You know you're not keeping the property. You're going to probably sell it in 3 to 4 months max. So all you have to do is pay the bill for 3 or 4 months. 300 times 4 months, that's $1,200. You might as well put that in your expense spreadsheet of your investment property. But at the end of the day, you were able to leverage on a credit card $20,000 or $30,000 that never came out your pocket to buy supplies. On the 4th month, you sold the property, gave the credit card company their money back. The bank got their money back, and you made your profit of $40,000, $50,000 or $60,000 or even $30,000 on the property that you flipped. But the valuable point in that particular example is you didn't have to come out your pocket to buy supplies to flip properties. You used your credit card because you have good credit. And imagine you do 1 property, you made $40,000. You do 2 properties for the year, you already made $80,000 just because you had a credit card that had a good limit, credit limit on it. That's number 1 when it comes to leveraging and making 6 figures a year using credit. Learning how to use your credit cards to make you money, especially in the world of real estate. A lot of us, we leverage credit cards to buy supplies and material because we know we're not going to keep the property for more than 4 months. Once we sell the property, we pay the credit card back, and here we go again. We recycle the credit card again. Number 2, for a lot of you that like to travel, I love traveling myself. There's a lot of credit cards that can benefit you on what we call reward points for flying miles. I want you guys to understand how valuable this is. Sometimes I get 2, 3, 4 trips a year for free flying, because it's not just getting credit cards that's important too. A lot of you understand, does the credit card give you a high credit limit if that's the card you're looking for real estate, to flip real estate? Does the card give you value when it comes to flying, free trips after a certain amount of points? Do you guys realize there's a lot of us who fly for free, pay nothing? Our credit card gave us all these free points because we're using it by leveraging the credit card. So imagine I have a credit card that have a high credit limit on it, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. But it also has a reward point feature. I'm buying material at Home Depot while it's giving me flying reward points. Once I reach a certain point, it gave me a free flight. I did it again. I reached a certain point again. It gave me another free flight. Now I'm flying to different countries for free, while a lot of you are paying. People, credit is a valuable thing as long as you know how to play the game. And it's not complicated. The problem I see with a lot of people is A lot of you don't have, one, the right credit cards, which I explained earlier in the video. You can already rewatch the video. Two, you have credit cards with low credit limits. If you're a grown adult, you should have a credit card that have at least minimum $20,000 on it. And that's on the low side. If you have a credit card that still don't have $20,000 and you're 30 years or older, that's a problem. Because the goal of growing in life is using credit, other people's money, to make money. But a lot of you still have Capital One cards giving you $2,000, certain credit cards with $5,000. People, the rule of thumb for credit is to only use, 30%. If your credit card only got $5,000 on it, 30% is only what? $1,500. $1,500 is not going to put you in a position to leverage real estate. A lot of you need to know some of the credit cards you have is not giving you any value. I have credit cards that have $250,000 credit limit. I have credit cards that have no limit, especially my American Expresses. I can swipe $1 million on them if I want. I have credit cards that have $100,000 credit limit. But here's another thing. There's no point of having high credit limits if you're not going to use it to invest into anything. So that's why I had to really show you guys example number one, which is buying a property, maybe putting $10,000 of your money cash or $5,000 of your money cash. That's between you and your lender. Then when it's time to buy the material and the supplies, leverage your credit cards. Yes, they're going to send you a bill. I don't know. Let's say the bill, you use $20,000. The bill is $400. Just pay the bill, $400. You know you're going to sell a house in 4 months, max. So at the end of the day, 400 times 4, you lost $1,600. Just put that a part of your expense ratio based on the property you're doing. Once you sell a house on month number 4, you pay the credit card back. The lender got their money back. You made your profit. Number 2, we spoke about reward points. A lot of you don't understand the same credit card I'm using to buy supplies, I'm getting travel rewards. So I'm flying for free to different countries. So I'm just leveraging the right credit cards because a lot of you don't understand. Some of these credit cards give you a lot of reward points and you get free flights every time you reach a certain threshold. But if you got a credit card that doesn't give you any rewards or don't have any high credit limit on it, what's the value of the credit card? If you ran into an emergency, what's the value of a credit card if you can't do real estate with it? What's the value of having good credit if you're not going to make money with it? I meet so many grown adults who have great credit, but they don't invest into anything. Is it a bragging position? Is it ego, pride? Is it just lack of knowledge? I don't know. But people, you got to learn how to leverage credit or credit cards, which is credit, or what we're about to talk about, number 3. People, in this video, we're talking about 3 ways you can make 6 figures a year leveraging good credit. Number 3, when you have good credit, you're able to put way less money down. And you're able to buy properties. You're able to buy houses. You're able to buy duplexes that you can rent out. And it's always good to connect with lenders because the lenders is who's giving you the financing. But without good credit, you can't buy no properties so people can pay you rent. The goal of life is to eventually stop working, people, and have passive income. So if you want to win in life, you got to start understanding. I'm past the part of teaching people what is good credit. People, we got to understand. Credit is more valuable than cash. Always. If you have $200,000 cash, you can only buy something for $200,000. If you got $50,000 or $100,000, you could buy something maybe with good credit. You could buy something for probably $800,000. Which is more valuable? Credit is always more valuable than cash. The only reason a lot of us don't understand that is because, again, lack of education. That could be one. Lack of exposure. We're not around people who know how to leverage credit and credit cards to make money. People, if you have a credit card and your credit card still has $5,000 or $2,000 or $8,000 max, people, you're so behind. You just don't know how far behind. You're 12 years behind. I have friends who have credit cards with $500,000 on it, $2 million on their credit card. And it's legit. It's legal. While some of you have credit cards of $3,000 credit limits. This is why I'm not a fan of Capital One at all. Capital One is the worst credit card company. The worst. I remember I was with Capital One 8 years. The highest credit limit I ever had, I think, was $3,000. And at that point, I was making roughly maybe $300,000, $400,000. And they're telling me that's the most we could give you at this moment. What? I got with Bank of America's Visa, which I'm a super fan of. Shout out to Bank of America. Bank of America started me off at 40 just to warm me up. Now I'm roughly at one of them about 180. The next one maybe 290. I'm loving it. Shout out to Bank of America, man. I'm telling you. Shout out to American Express also too. Their credit cards amazing. Shout out to also Citibank Platinum cards. Amazing. Giving you $50,000, $80,000 credit limits, people. What are we talking? People, I want you guys to understand. This is why I created my Millionaire Mindset show starting the 26th. Shout out to all of you who already subscribed. Even if you're out of state, I do have it going via webinar. February 26th is my first day. I'm teaching you guys how to create wealth. We will be talking about the first topic of discussion, budgeting your money, how to budget, why you need a budget, how do you budget with a purpose? Because a lot of you don't realize, people, the only reason you're left behind, the reason you're working 2 jobs, the reason you have no savings, because the reason you see that your life is not changing, the reason that your 10 years life of the last 10 years hasn't changed is because you're doing the same thing, expecting different results. Too many of us in this world today are financially struggling. While we all have the willpower to win financially, we refuse to invest into where it matters. I hope a lot of you have already signed up, like many people have already done. Yesterday, a couple more people signed up to the Millionaire Mindset show that I created every last Sunday, starting February 26th. If you're out of state, it doesn't make a difference. I can send you a link. If you're local, you're going to come to my office. The first topic we're talking about is how to budget your money. I called it budgeting with a purpose. What are you budgeting for? How do you budget? How do you reduce your expenses? Why is debt such a big problem? How do you readjust your life so you can now have cash flow? How do you eventually get in a position where you start to have savings? People, if you are having money management or money problems at all, get on mentorme.com, click the subscribe button today. It's $99. You don't want to miss every last Sunday where others, just like yourself, are trying to win financially and create generational wealth. You don't want to miss the wave. Every month I'm talking about something different. Eventually we're going to get into, of course, I'm going to teach you step by step how to invest into real estate. Step by step on how to buy tax deed properties. Step by step on how to buy tax lien properties. Step by step for some of you that want to go advanced. I'm going to teach you commercial real estate in my advanced course, where now you're going to learn how you use no money and how you're going to make minimum $100,000 on one deal. Well, you know what? Let me take that back. On the low side, you could make 60 because an $800,000 deal, yeah, you about 48,000 right there. A 900, yeah, you do about what? 57,000. $1 million, you do about 60,000. But I prefer y'all get into the big boy deals when we get into the 3 million to 5 million to 2 million to 9 million. But again, you got to start somewhere, right? But imagine you're going to learn the world. For some of you that want to go to my advanced class when it's time, you're going to learn how you use no money, just learning the art. You're going to learn how to use no money, just learning the art on how to really create 6 figures without a lot of effort. People, if you're having money management problems, the February 26th, make sure you are at my show. It's a necessity for some of you. Some of you have been struggling for too long. Some of you are working 2, 3 jobs. You don't need to do that. The only reason you're doing that is because that's all you know. Some of you are struggling. You have no savings. You're hungry for this tax return check because that's all you understand. It's time to see a different approach to life, and I made it very affordable for you. $99 a month. People, this is your boy Bobby from mentorme.com. I love you all. Appreciate all the support. See a lot of you February 26th. If you haven't subscribed already, get on mentorme.com. Click the subscribe button, and I will see you. If you're local, feel free to come to my office. We're going to be live. If you're out of state, I'll be sending you the link. Come learn how to have a millionaire mindset. And, of course, it's hosted, and you're going to be coached by your boy, Mr. Mentor Me himself. teaching you how to create generational wealth. People, this is your boy always, of course, showing you love, teaching you wealth while living. I hope you guys learned why having credit and how having credit can make you 6 figures a year if you have good credit, and it's all legal. Please, if you haven't watched this video, feel free to rewatch it, share it on your platform, share it to friends who are struggling. Give everybody a fair chance to learn just like you just did. MentorMe.com.